a mental technology that has been practiced by conquerors, strategists, and the architects of empires for centuries. And today, I am going to hand you the blueprint. But I must warn you, what you are about to learn will cost you something. It will cost you the comfort of your own excuses. It will cost you the sweet poison of hope. It may cost you relationships with people who need you to stay emotional, so they can predict you, control you, keep you small. If you are willing to pay that price, stay. If you are not, close this now. Go back to following your heart. Go back to the chaos. No judgment. Some people are meant to be passengers. Some people are meant to be fuel. But if something in you recognizes that there has to be another way, a colder way, a clearer way, then let us begin the amputation. There was a man who understood this better than anyone in recorded history. His name was Machiavelli. And he wrote a book that has been banned, burned, and denounced for 500 years because it told the truth that no one wanted to hear. In that book, he described a quality called times virtue asterisk. Not virtue in the soft, moral sense. Virtue asterisk was something else entirely. It was the ability to act with cold precision regardless of circumstance. It was the capacity to see the board clearly while everyone else was blinded by their own desires and fears. It was, in essence, the power to feel nothing when feeling something would get you killed. Machiavelli had earned this wisdom the hard way. He had served as a diplomat, watched governments rise and fall, seen men of great passion destroyed by that very passion, and men of icy calculation inherit everything those passionate men had built. And then he himself was arrested, tortured, exiled, stripped of everything. Most men would have been consumed by bitterness. Most men would have spent their remaining years drowning in resentment, replaying their suffering, writing letters begging for reinstatement. Machiavelli did something else. He took his pain, his rage, his humiliation, and he processed it. Not through tears, not through revenge fantasies. He converted it into data. He analyzed it. He asked himself, what does this teach me about power? What does this teach me about human nature? What does this teach me about the mechanics of winning and losing? And from that cold analysis, he wrote The Prince, a manual for acquiring and maintaining power that has guided rulers, executives, and strategists for half a millennium. This is the first lesson. Your suffering is not a tragedy. It is raw material. It is information waiting to be processed. But you cannot process it while you are drowning in it. You must first learn to step outside the flood. This is what I call the zero state. The zero state is not numbness. Numbness is what happens when you are so overwhelmed that your system shuts down. That is not power. That is collapse. The zero state is deliberate. It is a chosen position. It is the moment when you sever the wire connecting external events to internal reactions. Something happens. You observe it. You analyze it. You respond strategically. But at no point does the event enter your bloodstream. At no point does it hijack your prefrontal cortex and hand the controls to your amygdala. You become the surgeon who can cut into a screaming patient without trembling. You become the pilot who can land a failing aircraft while alarms blare and passengers scream. You become the general who can sacrifice 1,000 men to save 10,000 and sleep soundly that night. Not because you do not care, but because caring has been relocated. It no longer lives in your chest, clouding your vision with tears. It lives in your mind, converted into strategic objectives, risk assessments, and calculated moves. The masses cannot do this. The masses are pinballs, bouncing between hope and fear, desire and disgust, elation and despair. They are easy to predict. They are easy to manipulate. Show them something shiny, and they will reach for it. Threaten them with loss, and they will freeze. Offer them comfort, and they will follow you anywhere. You do not want to be the masses. You want to be the one who understands the masses. You want to be the one who sees the strings. But to do that, you must first cut your own. Here is the uncomfortable truth about your operating system. You are running ancient software on modern hardware. Your brain, magnificent as it is, was not designed for the world you live in. It was designed for a world where the greatest threats were predators and rival tribes, where status was determined by physical dominance, where every decision was life or death and therefore required immediate emotional response. That world is gone, but your programming remains. When your boss criticizes you in a meeting, your body responds as if a saber-toothed tiger just entered the room. Cortisol floods your system. Your heart rate spikes. Blood rushes away from your brain and toward your limbs, preparing you to fight or flee. In that moment, you become, quite literally, stupider. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for strategic thinking, complex reasoning, and long-term planning, goes partially offline, and your amygdala, the ancient alarm system, takes over.